Jersey City Pilates. For today's class, you're gonna need a dish towel, and that is all. You need a dish towel for today. You can just start folding it long ways and then fold it in half again and just sit on your mat. And then take your towel and bring it around behind the back of your ribs, and then you can just hold on to the sides and just let your shoulders kind of relax. Like, don't hold on to the towel for dear life, just feel that you can feel your ribs against it. And then take a nice big inhale and feel your ribs press back and out into the towel. And then just take a nice big exhale, and then think about growing a little bit taller. And take another inhale. Feel your ribs press into the towel. And then exhale, release. And then 2 more like this, keeping your shoulders relaxed or noticing if they want to come up, really focusing on breathing into your ribs in the back and the sides. And then 1 more time, inhale. And then exhale and release. Go ahead and let go of your towel, but then grab it in front of your body. And then reach your arms straight up towards the ceiling. And then just shake your head out and reach your hands up to the ceiling. Let your shoulders come all the way up towards your ears. And then just feel your upper arm externally rotate and just kind of drop down, giving yourself lots of space. And then side bend up and over towards one side, rooting the other, sitting bone into the ground. And then come back up to the center and over to the other side. Still thinking about breathing into your back and side ribs more than your abdominals or your shoulders. And then exhale over to the right. And then up and over to the other side 1 more time. Good. And then you're going to do 1 more to each side. And then pause in the center at the top. And then here, just nod your chin ever so slightly, reaching the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And then bend your elbows wide towards the side, gently pull your towel away and tap yourself on the top of the head with your towel. And then extend your arms back up. And then pull the towel apart gently as you exhale and pull down. And then reach back up. Think about finding length through your neck and your spine here. 2 more. And last one. Good, and then you can bring your towel down in front of you and then just press it forward and give yourself a little stretch forward. You can either be rounded back or flat back, whatever feels better for you. And then slide your towel over to one side, reaching over one leg more than the other. And then come over to the right side or opposite side. Still pushing down to your opposite sitting bone. And then roll yourself all the way back up. And take your towel and keep it in your fold here. And then you're just gonna put it down on the ground and you're gonna come to lay onto the towel, basically in the same spot of where it was when you had it wrapped around yourself. So you want it to be right underneath your shoulder blades to give you a little bit of feedback here. And if it's too high, you can always just unroll it a little bit. And then you're gonna reach your arms straight up towards the ceiling. And then from here, reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing your back ribs into the floor, into your towel, and let your shoulder blades drop. And then again, we'll reach the fingertips up, arms stay straight, and then let them drop back down. 2 more just like this. Last one. And then leaving your shoulders nice and relaxed on the mat, you're gonna tuck your tailbone under, feel your hip bones drop up towards your ribs, and gently press your low back towards the mat. And coming into that scoop position, your abdominals descend down towards the ground, and then on your inhale, release. And again, play with your positioning. On your inhale, pause and exhale. Curl the tailbone under, press gently into the feet, back ribs are pressing into the towel, and then release. 2 more. And release. Last one. Staying in your nice neutral pelvis, you're gonna let your arms float overhead until you feel your ribs start to pull away from that towel, and then reach them back up towards the ceiling. So you may be able to get your arms all the way down towards the floor, or you may get 3 inches overhead. Either way, doesn't matter. Just noticing whether your pelvis stays still and your ribs as well. 2 more. And last one. Good, and then from here, bring your hands behind your head, curl your chin under ever so slightly, and then curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Again, press your back ribs into that towel, and then lengthen as you lower back down. And then inhale, exhale as you lift. Abdominals should be descending towards the floor rather than puffing up towards the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, curl yourself up. Down, 3 more. Moving on, inhale or exhale is your choice. Just make sure that you're breathing before you initiate your movement. And last one like this. And then lower your head all the way down. Go ahead and take that towel out from under you, and you can just bring it off to the side. And just notice how your back feels now on the floor. Maybe your ribs are a little bit more rounded. And then press your feet into the floor, curl the tailbone under, and then peel yourself up into a bridge, 1 vertebrae at a time, pulling your heels towards your shoulders, and then peel yourself all the way back down, trying to land your tailbone a little bit farther away from your head than it started. And again, curl the tailbone under, peel yourself up. Knees are reaching directly out away from you, in line with your hips and your feet, not out to the side, and back up. Next time you peel yourself up, you are going to pause at the top. And then from here, you're going to come into neutral pelvis and then tuck your tailbone under. So you're going from neutral to that pelvic tuck, engaging your glutes, feeling your abdominals ascend towards the floor as your hips draw up toward your ribs for 6, 5. Try not to come into extension as you let yourself lift into neutral, so don't let your hips hang all the way down towards the floor. 2 more. And last one, you're gonna find that neutral position, and then you're gonna dip your right hip, lift your left. So you're just rotating the pelvis, and then come back to the center and switch sides. And center, and switch. And over to the left. Your shoulders stay even on the floor, so you don't want the weight to fall into whatever side you're tipping your hips to. Knees keep reaching forward, 1 more time to each side. Good. Pause here. Find whatever height above the floor in neutral pelvis is comfortable for you to hold, and then you're going to bring your right leg into tabletop. And then you're just going to tap your right leg down. And then reach it back up, staying on that right side, and lower. You can be hovering an inch off the floor. It's totally fine. Hurry. Bracing at that hip, thinking about reaching your sitting bone away from you as your femur just kind of rolls up in your hip socket. 2. Last one, pause with your leg lifted, extend your leg long. Thighs are more or less in line with each other, and then resist to bring it back in. And then extend it out and pull it back in. Hips stay square and still in space. And think that you have a rubber band from your heel to your sitting bone on that right side. You don't want to flick yourself in the back of the knee when you extend or bend the leg. For 4, 3, 2. Last one. Leave your leg long, lower it down towards the floor, and then keep it straight, lift it back up, and then lower it down. And your hips stay at the same height the whole time. If you want to make this more challenging, you can bring your arms off the floor for 4, 3, 2, and last one. And then bend your knee into your chest, lower all the way down, and then peel yourself down 1 vertebrae at a time, lower your hips to the floor, and then curl yourself back under, Peel yourself all the way up into your bridge. Find your neutral pelvis. Again, whatever height works for you. I'm gonna lower my arms, but you can keep yours lifted. Bring your left leg into tabletop, and then tap it back down. And draw it back in. And again, your knee stays in line with your hip as you lift and lower, and your hips can be at whatever height off the floor is comfortable. You can also change per exercise. 3 more. Make sure your right leg isn't falling out to the side by engaging through the inner thigh. Pause with that leg at the top, and then extend it long, and bend it back in for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6. Thighs are more or less in line with one another when you extend. And last one. Extend the leg long, lower it down, and lift for 10. Again, your hips can be at whatever height. You can always lower your hips too here if you'd like. And you can bring your arms up for the last 5. 4, 3, 2 more. Last one. Bring that leg all the way down. Curl your tailbone under, lift your hips all the way up, and slowly peel yourself down 1 vertebrae at a time. Bring your knees into your chest, and gently rock back and forth from one side to the other, giving your low back a little massage. And then cross your right leg over your left. Bring your arms out to a T, and let your legs fall over to the left, head to the right. Your hips can go with you. And then bring yourself back to the center. Cross your left leg over your right, and then gaze to the opposite direction. Hips go with your knees. Trying to keep your shoulders on the floor as best you can. And then coming to the center. Extend your legs long. Grab your towel. Reach your towel up overhead. Keeping those backwards, pressing into the floor. And then bring your towel in front of your gaze. Start to nod your head. Pull the towel apart. And then you're going to curl yourself all the way up. One vertebrae at a time. Until you come to a nice seated position. And then from here, you can either have your legs long or bent, or somewhere in between, whatever works. Stacking your spine up nice and tall. Pull your towel apart gently, and then roll your knuckles forward so that your wrists are straight. And then you're gonna curl your tailbone back halfway. And then round yourself up. Good job. So you're drawing your hips towards your ribs, rounding through the low back. You're gonna do a full roll down, and sitting back nice and tall. And out. Think about opening up to the front of the thighs. 2 more, and then we're gonna hinge. Go back only as far as it's comfortable for you. And then stack your spine all the way up nice and tall at the top. You're gonna pull that towel apart. Lengthen the crown of your head and think of a stake going from the crown of your head all the way into the floor of your tailbone. You're gonna hinge back, take your ribs at the same rate as your shoulders and head, and exhale them all the way up. And then again, hinge back and come forward. Moving on your breath. Make this as big or small as possible. 2 more. And last one. Good. This time you're going to curl your tailbone under, round halfway back. Coming back, however, is comfortable for you, and then tuck your tailbone under a little bit more here. Really open up through the front of your hips, and then reach your arms up, press down. Notice what happens to your abdominals as you lift, if they want to press out ahead of you. And press down. Exhale, down. For 4. 2. And last one. And then round yourself all the way down to the floor, 1 vertebrae at a time. Reach your arms back overhead, and then bring your arms straight up over your shoulders. And you're gonna bring your right leg into tabletop and your left leg up. And then from here, you're just going to extend your right leg and bring it back in. And then extend your left leg and bring it back in. This is so comfortable. Alternating sides. Every morning, side like this. If you'd like, you can curl your head, neck, and shoulders up and reach your towel towards your shins. You're gonna end up on a position. Drawing your ribs towards your hips and relaxing your shoulders. Once more here to the left, and then pause. So if your head is lifted, you're gonna stay where you are, and you're gonna extend your left leg, reach your arms to the outside of your right, and then come back to the center and twist the other direction. If you wanna keep your head down, you're gonna do the same thing with your arms reaching towards the opposite leg. Five more. Think about that opposite rib going to the opposite hip. Whether or not you're lifting your head, it's fine. Two more. Center. And last one. Good. Pause here. Head down, head lifted, doesn't matter. You're gonna extend your arms, extend both legs. Draw them both in. Extend your arms and legs, and bend it. And extend, and bend. For 5. 4, drawing your ribs towards your hips. Regardless, your back ribs are pressing into the mat. 2. Last one. Bring your knees all the way into your chest and give yourself a rock back and forth from one side to the other. And then you're gonna come onto your knees. We will do a little bit more hinging with your towel or without, is your choice. But you wanna stack your hips right over your knees. And then tuck your tailbone under, and then think about your ribs drawing gently up towards your hips, so your sacrum is nice and wide, and you're not tucked under, you're not sticking your butt out, rather you're pretty tucked under, open through the front of the hips, towel or not, your choice. You're gonna hinge back from the knees now to the crown of the head, and lift the arms as you come up. And lower the arms, pull the towel apart as you hinge back, and reach in. Make sure your ribs and hips are moving the same rate as your shoulders. And then as you lift the arms, you're not jutting your ribs forward. You're staying stacked. 2 more. Good. And pause here at the top. You're gonna rotate towards the right. Your ribs are coming with you. And then you're gonna hinge back on an angle and then come all the way up. We'll stay to the right and then reach back. More. Pull that towel apart. This is kind of like the spear fishing is one of the names for it in short box. And twist and rotate to the center. Over to the left, hips come with you. Exhale as you go back. Inhale up. Or the other way around, doesn't matter. 4 more. Keeping your head more or less even between your arms. 2. And last one. And then pause in the center. You can drop your towel down, either side, and extend your right leg out to the side. If you would like to make this as hard on yourself as possible, extend your arms overhead. I am not doing that. I'm gonna cross my hands over my shoulders, or you can bring them behind your head, your choice. You're gonna lean out to the left on a nice long line, keeping weight in that right foot, and then side bend up and over. You can also do this with your arms out to the feet, and then you can add a little stretch if you'd like with your arms out to the side. Really thinking about having length in both sides of your body as you go out, and then maintaining that length as you come back. You can always grab your towel if your arms are extended overhead. 3 more. Everything is facing towards the front. Last one. Good. Now, everyone bring your arms out to a T. And up and over. Plant your hand on the ground, your left hand, sit your shoulders right over your hand. Press your left foot into the floor and reach your right leg up. And then from here, you're gonna bring your right hand behind your head and you're gonna reach back with your right foot and forward with your chest. So you're coming to a little twist here. And then you're sweeping your top leg forward as you open up towards the ceiling. And then bring your right leg back behind you, torso faces the ground. And as you sweep that leg forward, open your chest towards the ceiling. And back. And forward. That leg. Last one. Plant that leg down, extend your arm towards the ceiling, and then float the leg up and tap it back down. 6, drawing your abdominals in. 3. And last one. Bend that knee in and then come all the way up. And you're gonna switch. So your left leg now is gonna come out to the side. Again, whatever arm positioning you choose, overhead, your choice. But make sure you're keeping weight in that left leg. Hips are squared forward, ribs are forward, shoulders are forward as you come out to that long line, and then lift up and over. Breathing before you move, especially on the up. Drawing your ribs towards one another, your hips stay connected to your ribs. Last one. And then bring your arms out to a T. Plant your right foot down. Take a stretch here for a second. We didn't do this on the other side, we'll go back. And then bring your left hand behind your head, float your left leg up, and sweep your left leg back, rotate your torso towards the floor. And then sweep your left leg forward, open up towards the ceiling. And then sweep it back. And up. Forward round. Back. 3 more. 2. Last one. And lower that left leg down. Extend your arm towards the ceiling if you'd like, and then float the leg up, tap it down for 8. 7. 6. Rest of your body is nice and still. 4. 3. 2. And last one. And then come all the way up. And come onto all fours. You can be on your hands, and if you'd like, you can actually bring your towel underneath the heels of your hands if your wrists are bothering you. And we'll come down onto our forearms in a minute or so anyway. But start with your knees right underneath your hips, shoulders above your wrists. And then tuck the tailbone under, round your spine up towards the ceiling. Take your abdominals with you. And then come through into that cat position. Lifting your chest, opening through the collarbone, and then tuck your tailbone under, draw your abdominals away from the floor as you round your spine towards the ceiling. And then coming through that extension, and round back up. And forward. Once more, round your spine towards the ceiling. And then open into your extension, and then find a nice neutral spine here. If you would like, you can come onto your forearms and do this on your forearms, or you can stay on your hands, totally fine. Either way, you're gonna extend your right leg up towards the ceiling so that your thigh is parallel to the floor. And then you're gonna tap your knee down to the ground and then lift straight back up. And then tap the knee down, and exhale, lift. Making sure that even though this is a pretty supported position for your body, that your abs are not just hanging towards the floor. You want to keep pulling them, not pulling, engaging them with your breath. For 4, 3, keeping your weight even in the arms. 2, last one, pause with the leg at the top. And then you're gonna do tiny little pulses, almost as though your foot is not moving. You could even think just squeezing the back of your leg for 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Extend your leg long, and you're gonna reach it over to the left corner of your mat. So it's across your body. And then you're gonna pick it up and tap it towards the right corner of your mat. And then lift and tap it to the left. Lift and tap it to the right. Again, breathing as you move, keeping your ribs connected towards your hips. And your hips are staying nice and square for 4, 3, 2, lifting from where your glute meets your hamstring. Last one. Pause with the leg lifted, and you're gonna do small circles here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, neck is long, 3, 2, last one, reverse. 7, 6, small circles. 4, 3, 2, and last one, bring that knee in underneath you. You can come to sit back and cross your right ankle over your left leg, and then press yourself to sit up tall. You can rock your leg back and forth, whatever feels comfortable. You can also just do this on your back if you prefer. Stretching out that right side. And then when you're ready, you're gonna come back into your all fours position. Again, forearms or hands, your choice, not hamstrings. And then you're gonna pick your left leg up so that it's parallel to the floor, and then tap it down. Think about reaching your sitting bone long towards the wall behind you as you lift and lower, so that you're not collapsing through your spine or through that left side at all. For 8, 7, 6, shoulders are relaxed. 4, you got opening through the front of the hip as you lift. Knee stays in line with your hip as well. 2, last one, pause the leg at the top and start to pulse. Tiny little pulse. Again, you can just think about squeezing the hamstring and the glute. Another 3 for 8. 4, 3, 2. Last one, extend the leg long. Tap it over towards the right corner to start. Lift and tap it to the left. And over. Keeping the hip pointing down. So as you're reaching across to that left corner, make sure you're not opening your hip up. 4 more. Again, lifting from where that glute meets the hamstring. Through your torso. Last one. Pause with your leg long, about a hip height, and then small circles for 8, 7. Same knee stays pointing down at the floor. 5, 4, 3. Last one, and reverse for 8, 7. 4, 3, 2. And last one, bring that leg underneath you, and then come to do that figure 4 stretch in whichever position for you. And then press yourself up. Thinking about reaching your tailbone down into the floor. And then from here, you're gonna come onto your right forearm, stacking your knees one on top of each other. And if This is better for you on your hand than just come up to your hand, but I'm going to stick with my forearm. You're gonna lift your hips up and come into a little modified side plank, and then you're gonna drop your hips back down, and then lift. Shoulder is right over your elbow, out of your ears. Reaching your hips forward and up, like you have a little string pulling you up, so they stay square to the front. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Pause with your hips down, and then you're gonna open your leg and then close it back down. So just externally rotating from the left leg, your hips stay facing forward, your spine is still in a nice neutral spine, so you're not arching your back and reaching your abdominals forward. Perfect. Or externally rotating through the femur only. 3, 2, last one. Leave your knees touching. You're gonna lift your hips, lift your top leg. Lower your knees, lower your hip. Lift and open and back down. Again, hips still stay facing forward. Use your hand to kind of remind you. For 4, 3, 2, and last one. Stay lifted, close the leg, open the leg. Staying in the side plank for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and lower all the way down. Come up onto your hand and then pull your left knee in front so that you're in a zigzag Z-sit position. Your left shin is in line with the long edge of the mat. And then side bend up and over towards your legs. Breathing into the back of your ribs and that right side. And then place your hand down, lift your hips as you side bend up and over to the right. You can leave your hips down if this is comfortable. Lower your hips back to the left. And then up and open to the right. One more time to each side. Over to the left. And then come all the way down and then flip your legs over to the other side. We'll start with the side plank. So make sure your left shoulder is over your elbow. Heels more or less in line with your glutes. And then lift up into that side plank. And repeat. Then you can always bring your arm up and think of it someone holding your hand up as you come back down. 5 more. Head is in line with your spine. 3, 2. Last one. And lower your hips down. Opening up your top leg to that clamshell, hips stay facing forward, and then back down. If nothing moves except for the top femur, leg. And as you close your leg, think about reaching your foot and going away. 5 more. 4, 3, and last one. And this time you're gonna lift your hips, open your leg, lower, lift and open. For 6, 5, 4, nice and slow, 3, 2, and last one. Stay lifted and open up for 6, 5, 4, press down through your whole left arm, 3, hips stay forward, 2, last one, lower all the way down, and then press yourself up, bring your left knee forward, and then right shin is in line with the short end of the mat, and then side bend up and over towards your right, towards the legs. And then plant your hand, lift your hips. Side bend over to the left. And then sit back down and over to the left. As you come up, think about pressing the back leg forward, opening to the front. Come back down. One toward each side. Good, and then from here, go ahead and come back onto your backs. You're gonna lay all the way down. And you're going to bring your knees into tabletop. And then leave your heels close to your butt, but externally rotate the thigh, and then bring your heels together. You're in your little Pilates bead frog position. And you're gonna lift your feet. Press your heels in towards one another and deepen your thighs, and then extend the legs long to where the wall meets the ceiling, and then resist to bring it back. If you'd like, you can curl your neck, head, neck, and shoulders up, and bring your hands behind your head, or you can have your arms long by your side. Your choice. Another option with your hands is put them on your stomach and see what your abs are doing as you get slowly here. For 3. Last one. Pause with your legs long. Point your toes here. Press with the thigh. And you can do this with your feet all the way up towards the ceiling and not out at an angle. You can also do this with bent legs. For 6. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock back and forth from one side to the other. And then you have a choice of having your legs glued together as one leg with your knees in tabletop, or with your legs all the way straight, your choice. Hands out a little bit wider than your mat, and you're gonna let your legs fall over to the right. Exhale, pull them back down. And let them fall to the left, and bring them back down. And then over to the right. I'm just dropping my feet down because this is too much. And over to the left. And to the right. You choose to drop your feet too. You can do the same thing. Left leg. 3 more to each side. Nice and small. After, stay on the mat. Last one each side. And to the left. Bring both legs down to the floor so that they're planted, feet are planted on the floor. Bring your right leg up to the top and then extend it long towards the ceiling. Make sure that as you extend your leg, you're not pulling your low back towards the floor. So let your leg be away from you a little. And then you're gonna do circles here. Pressing through that left leg, keeping it nice and still. For 5. 3, whatever size circle feels good. You shouldn't have any clicking in your hip. If you do, bend your knee and or make your circle smaller. Pause at the top, and then reverse for 8. 5. 2 more. Last one. Keep this leg long. Extend your left leg long. Reach up, grab on behind the left thigh, or right thigh, sorry, and then switch sides. And switch. Head, neck, and shoulders are lifted. Ribs are drawing down towards your hips. 2 more. Last one each side. Pause with that left leg up, plant the left leg or right leg rather down. Find a nice neutral position here, and then circle that left leg, right leg stay still for 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Last one, and release or reverse your turn on that. square on the mat, staying nice and heavy through that right side. For 3, and last. Bring both knees in towards your chest and rock back and forth from one side to the other. And then you can rock yourself up to a seated position and then come onto all fours. And again, you can do this on your forearms if you prefer. Or you can do this with your hands like completely elevated on top of a box or a chair or a couch. That's easier. And then find a nice neutral spine here, and then tuck your toes under. And then take a nice big inhale. Feel your ribs expand wide to the sides, and as you exhale, bring your abdominals with you, float your knees off the floor. And then lower back down. And then inhaling, exhale. Feel your abdominals wrap as your abs come with you as you lift up, and then lower back down, staying in this nice neutral position. 2 more. Exhale, and then lift. Lower down, last one. And lift. You're gonna stay here, you're gonna extend your right leg back and your left leg, and then you're gonna come back with your right leg and back with your left. 2 more times, out with your right. Out with your right. And then drop your knees. And then let your spine reset for a moment. And then tuck the toes under, take a big inhale, and then exhale, lift up and hold. And then extend your left leg, right leg, left leg bends. We're doing 4 total. Keeping that hold of your abdominals, but still breathing. 1 more time. Last one. And then come in and lower the knees down. Bring your knees nice and wide, and then sit back into a child's pose. And then you can either come into a plank on your forearms, a full plank, or you can find something to lean against, your choice, which is what I'm gonna do instead of being a full plank. And you're gonna have your hands right underneath your shoulders and your feet back behind you. So you're in a plank, whatever plank position doesn't matter. And then you're gonna send your hips up towards the ceiling or back behind you with your hand, if you're up on something like I am, to a down dog. And then think about uncurling your spine, finding that length, and then coming back into your plank. And then lift your hips back to your down dog. And then uncurl yourself to your plank. And then back to down dog, 2 more. And last one. Good, and then holding your plank here, you're gonna bring your right knee into your chest and then extend it long back behind you, staying in your plank. Right knee in and extend. And then bring it in and extend. Again, you can be on your forearms. Shoulders are away from your ears, neck is nice and long. 2 more. Last one. Lower that leg down, lift back up into down dog. Take a second here. You can pedal out your feet if that feels good. And then when you're ready, uncurl yourself again into your plank. And then you're gonna bring your left knee into your chest and extend it long. Ribs are drawing towards your hips. You have a slight tuck through the tailbone. You're widening through the collarbone, looking slightly ahead of you. 3 more. 2. Last one. And then we're done with planks. Drop your toe. Lift yourself back up into table or down dog. Bend your knees, wiggle your hips, whatever feels nice. And then from here, you're gonna walk your hands back towards your feet. And then have your legs pretty wide on your mat. And then you're just gonna hang here and let yourself walk over to the left side. Fully release your head. And let yourself swing over to the other side. Again, fully release your head, stretching through the back of the legs. And then come back into the center, and then bend your knees a whole bunch. Stick your butt back behind you, curl your tailbone under, round yourself up, one vertebrae at a time. And if you'd like, grab your towel, just to finish. You're gonna lift it up overhead, and then find your nice stacked alignment. So you don't want to be with your hips forward and your hips back, stomach forward, ribs forward. Tuck the tailbone under, find your ribs over your hips, and then side bend up and over to the right. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. Knees are soft. And then come back up to the top, and then over to the other side. And then back to the top, over to the right side, and then twist and rotate. So bring your right hand back, left ribs forward, and then twist yourself back to the center and come up and over to the left. Reach and rotate. Ribs are still reaching back behind you. Square yourself up, all the way up, and then bend your elbows wide to the side. Pull your towel back down to your head, keeping your shoulders relaxed. Lift it all the way up, and then reach forward, hinge through the hips. Bring your arms all the way down to the ground, and then curl yourself all the way up one vertebrae at a time. You can leave your towel if you want. And then let your head stack on top of your spine, and you are all finished. Thanks.
Thank you.
See you next week.